Okay, welcome everyone. We'll start our lesson 4. Today lesson will go through LO4, which is about understanding the needs for professional ethics when completing assurance engagement. My name is Anjum Satar and my email address anjum@ukversity.co.uk. If you have any question, please drop me email. Uh, Up to now, we discuss about audit assurance. We discuss two types of assurance. One is the positive assurance. One is a negative assurance. We discuss, auditor never give the obsolete assurance. That's everything, whatever in the statement and being said, 100% correct. So assurance mean giving the between auditors, and we discuss about agency theory. Agent, which is auditor, and the owner is the shareholders, and we discuss, the relationship between directors, stewardship, and these things. We discuss internal control. Yes, we discuss about internal control, what we need to look around. We discuss completeness, we discuss cutoff, we discuss, segregation of duties. All these we discuss under internal control, different sort of internal control. We discuss computerized internal control system. We discuss manual internal control system. That's all, we discuss in our discussion. Then we learn about audit, what is meant by audit. Audit means giving the assurance, which is audit assurance. So international standard of auditing 500, we discussed types of assurance, all we discussed in the previous lesson. So let's please, always good to be rate yourself 1 to 10, how much we know about ethics. Just think about, why ethics in audit, please. Audit and accounting. Let's spend few minutes. Just think about, please. Okay. Okay, so what we we need to we scale 1 to 10 rate your current knowledge of audit and professional ethics. So scale 1 to so auditor and the professional ethics. A couple of you learn in other unit as well to easy remember these ethics. PPCIO, which is meant by popular people chat in office. So those are the people who are very famous. They chat in the office. So that's we need to be look around. So what this abbreviation stand for? PPCIO. What is this stand for? First is the professional behavior. Always in audit, in accounts, we always need to be professional behaviors, not conflicting information, not biased information. Always treat, and provide the true and fair information to your user. That's the audit is mean checking the accuracy in the book of accounts. So if you not checking and not telling the accuracy in the book of account, it mean you're not telling the true and fair information to your user. That's the big, the question mark which we need to be think about as a editor. And a lot of companies, because you heard about Enron, one of the yes. So due to the information wasn't correct, true and fair, editor not gave the true and not gave the right assurance. Yes, they gave it, but that wasn't weight the factual information. Okay, so professional competencies and due care. Editors always need to be make sure up to date in knowledge, skills, and behaviors, and up to date into up to date, like audit standards, carry on changing everything. How we can do the CPD records. CPD, continuous professional development. If you're working full time, we need to do 35 hours a year to keep the CPD record that we have improved and we are up to date, with the knowledge and skills. And that's, is crucial to become professional competent. That's ethics. And these are all the ethics of professional bodies such as ACCA and various other awarding bodies as well. Then we have a C is the confidentiality. Okay, so confidentiality mean can we declare information to third party without the client permission? Just think about. No, we shouldn't. So we have Data Protection Act 1998. We have a GDPR 2018. We shouldn't declare information to third party without the client authorization. That's we need to do. We need to make sure. Okay, the confidentiality. Then next we have integrity. What is meant by integrity? Integrity, editor should be honest. Yes, editor should be honest, always telling the true and fair information to your user, because you have a moral and ethical responsibility and the legal responsibility as well. Objectivity, editor objectivity, not conflicting information, not self-interest, or editor objective to be not earn the money, editor objective to be provide their users the true and fair information and do whatever the factual information come their attention based on the books those who are providing, and draw the conclusion and prepare the reports to the user. That's who said these ethics. International Ethics Standard Board for Accountant, they set the ethics, and these ethics always follow all the professional bodies. So that's why these ethics. Okay, so today lesson we have assessment criteria, explain the role of ethics. Yes, analyze how the principle of professional behavior protect public and the fellow professionals, and explain the thread of the fundamental ethics principle, and evaluate the importance of confidentiality when completing assurance engagement. Okay, that's all will be discussion. So role of ethics. So role of ethics code in relation to the assurance activities, role-based approach, principle-based approach, rule-based approach, and principle-based approach that will discuss, fundamental ethical, self-interest, self-review, management, advocacy, familiarity, and intimidation. These are the threads, which which we will go through and we'll discuss in our discussion today. That's the indicative content was. Okay, what is ethics? It is vital that the editors can offer the credible opinion. What is a credible opinion? That based on the factual information, the information is correct and comply with the laws and the regulation. So need to comply the relevant ethical guidance. That this here we discussing, of course, from the book. You can pick the chapter of ethics, which is already on Moodle, and it's good to read. And when you write your assignment, of course, we can use the website Kaplan, ACCA, SEMA, or various other lot of discussion about ethics. And if you want to attempt the unit which is called ethical modules to become a member, that is crucial. Okay, safeguarding an editor's firm can put the place ensure remain independent. Independent. What is meant by independent? No one really influence on your opinion from their clients. We also look at others relevant ethical principle. Ethics is the concern with the behavior and trying to ensure that the editors act in professional manner and remain independent from their clients. And it is crucial that the editor both follows the ethic guidance and or the perceived of the following ethical principles and the guidance. There is a suitable difference. There are this difference between two requirements become evident. We consider one of the most notorious accounting scandals, which is Enron. Yes, at the end of the session, we'll explain the concept of ethics. We'll go through the code of ethics. We can think about everything involved in the audit professional. The company Enron, That's the key, the Enron, what's happened. You can do a bit research. Yes, and the editor was Arthur Anderson, and the Enron discuss, yes. So they involved in the fraud, bankruptcy happened, and the case went to the Supreme Court of US of the wrong. Okay, so that's a lot of standards change back in 2001. Okay, so ethics and the ethical behavior. Ethics is a set of the moral principle guide the behavior. Ethic value or the exemption and the belief constitute right and wrong. Constitute right and wrong behavior. Ethics values are held by the both individual and the organization in business. Organization may devise ethic codes and the codes of conduct for employees. Accountant work in the public interest and have the duty as a whole. So the strong moral value is essential to the profession. Objective of accounting profession, the mastering the particular skills, development of an ethical approach, acknowledge the duty to society, objective rendering services to high standard, achieving acceptance by the public. So rule public, what is the principle, base principle, are the moral values, yes, ethics, and the criminal is the rules, which is like Data Protection Act. Like here we discuss about civil damages can be in case of if you don't fulfill your contractual responsibility. So code of conduct, book we normally give. It's the responsibility of a editor to give the views about the going concern. Yes. So it's marriage allowance you're entitled if you're claiming it. Of course, we discuss about personal allowance, how much we have a dividend, declaring all, these are the rule and the ethics is those are we discuss five professional code of ethics. So that's, is a crucial in the accounting profession. So as we earlier mentioned, what is these ethics? If you say integrity, straightforward, honest implies fair dealing and truthfulness, objectivity, uncompromised by biased interest, conflict, undue influence. Professional competencies and due care, maintain the professional knowledge, skills, and act of diligently. Confidentiality, refrain from the disclosure of the confidential information. Professional behavior, comply with the relevant rule, laws, and regulation. Avoid any actions. Yes, that's is a crucial things. Okay, so as a ACCA member or as any other professional bodies, so you have to follow, you have to keep the CPD records as well. Okay, next we're looking the five threads. Those can compromise those five professional code of ethics. Self-interest. What is meant by self-interest? Having a financial interest in the client, like you have a shares in the company business and you're doing the audit for the same. It means you have an interest in it. You will work again and you will work in the best interest, your interest in the. So that's not a detail. So that's why you can't be objective. Maybe you're not integral in that case. So that's why that can be compromise or objectivity and even integrity. Self-review, it means checking your own work. If in the past you work as a bookkeeper or accountant and you're working in audit firm, and this means you're checking your own work, maybe you're not finding the mistake your own. So that's why it's a crucial. Either you remember in practice, either you remember in business. We have to keep in mind and we have to minimize the thread and we have to independency, editors independent views not be compromised. Familiarity is close family relationship. We know each other number of years, and then if we know each other number of years, what will be happen? Relationship will develop. When the relationship will develop, what will be happen? So of course, you're not really looking. Okay, any question, anyone? Okay, familiarity, intimidation. Somebody intimidate you, your job will be at risk if you don't do, if you not work in the client favor, we don't get the fees, and ultimately, yes, our business will be. So that's intimidate you. You work in according to their interest. So we shouldn't. In term or advocacy is acting behalf of an audit client and which is dispute with the third party that can be. So that's the advocacy threat, and all these leads to the objectivity, it lead to be integrity. Maybe you're not objective, you to give the biased information, so we're not supposed to. So member always need to be develop the good leadership culture in our organization. Safeguard always need to be make sure safeguards are in place. How safeguard? Policies, procedures, yes, communication of policies, either you member in practice or member in business. Okay, disciplinary procedures, we need to be comply with the policies, opportunities, engagement safeguards such as rotating team, involving additional members and other review work, all this resilience on the safeguard in the client system. That's all we need to do. Okay, so what we need to do, ethical conflict resolution, obtain relevant fact, ethical issues involved, relevant fundamental principle, establish internal control procedure, alternative course of action you consider. So these steps we can follow when we do the audit. So consider the consequences of each course of action. Decide course of action. If we have a problem, yes, there is an issue, we need to be consult and but not compromise our moral duties as a detail which we have. Okay, next issue, considering prior accepting engagement. Always if you engagement you want to engage, you have signed engagement letters, and so what we need, a professional clearance you need to do. Preconditions for an audit to be checked. Reputation of the client. Is the client is really involved in the money laundering and various other issues? Better to be don't take the assignment because you can compromise your code of ethics and maybe your value as a company will be less as well. Professional competencies, fees, risk. Okay, a detail can't charge the contingency fees like we'll charge this fees if you do this. If you do this, we can charge the fees based on the service and the quality of the service and the time. What with management integrity, money laundering, client due diligence is in place, and the resources available during the audit. Okay, that's all we need to. Okay, what is in audit engagement? Network, new work, and the uh, uh, new work and the engagement letter when you deal with the new clients, huh? That's the new clients, not network, just the new client. Obtain the work by the recommendation and tender, has the risk need thorough through the research and preparation, is after the assignment, is the engagement responsibility, objective, reference, standard, everything was declared in the letter of engagement, what we do, what, so no one blame to you and not compromise your ethical, moral, and your independency in during the audit. That's is a crucial, we need to be make sure we will go through in detail. Okay, next, what is the professional skepticism? So that's the professional ethic is the attitudes of critical assessment. We critical assessment, the use of the questioning. Your mind do the question. Oh, they have a money. Where the money came from? Oh, where the invoice for it? Who gave it? What that company record? What the relationship they have? Yes. So all, so that will help to prevent overlooking the suspicious circumstances from drawing the incorrect conclusion. You don't draw the incorrect conclusion until you have evidence for it. A teacher should neither assume something that a management is dishonest without the factual information, nor fail to question whether they are honest. This means an attitude that include being alert condition, which may indicate the possible misstatement due to the error or fraud. Documentation. It is important for editors to note down the important conversation with the client staff, the sport to provide audit evidence. That is the crucial question which we need to be ethical standard independency. Auditors are given impartial opinion. It is therefore important they are independent. Fundamental principle, professional competency, those we discuss, and either you member of ATHE, ACCA, all we have to be follow. So ethical standard and their threat to the objectivity, advocacy, self-interest, intimidation, familiarity. Threat to the members can be professional appointment, second opinion, fees, remuneration, marketing, gift, hospitality, custody of money. So safeguard, different personnel will be non-assurance. Yes, so we can monitor and managing resilience. Yes, so we need to be look around identification, disciplinary mechanism, independent reviews, safeguard to apply engagement, independent review, consultation, disclosure of the inner rotation of seniors. They're not familiar. Ethical standard, confidentiality, has the duty, the client affair to be secret if we don't do it, because that can be, and it can be charged under the criminal activities, because there's a data protection act, allow as well editors and anyone engage, so security procedures need to be, don't discuss with the client matter, don't use the client information, don't leave the audit file, don't leave the audit cases in the car, and so on. Okay, so there is a rule-based approach which is based on the laws, which is tick boxes that's set by the government, and if you don't follow, it's a criminal activity. Moral is more. And then is the principal approach is all about that religious comply with bigger pictures, can be flexible changing circumstances that extend. So create the culture of ethical awareness and clear cut, the rule is always clear cut, but the disadvantage sometimes not easy what is right to you and what is right to me. Yes, maybe things like you and not like what we mean the general moral principle in society what we have. Okay, the criminal laws and the civil law, there is a difference. Criminal is the government, and civil is civil court deals with it. So in the civil law, it can be damages, not a criminal. So those as a data we should be aware of, and ethics is come under the civil. Okay, regulatory, which is accounting bodies responsible setting and updating the ethical standard. Federation of Reporting Council regulate the accounting and actuary professions and promote, ethical. So that's, we need to be make sure we'll. Okay, so next we looking the accounting tenancy professions, International Federation of Accountant. Yes, which is international body for all the major accounting bodies like ACCA, CMAs, and various. And then ethical standard is a part of it. They set the standard for accountant and accounting body. Consultative, those consult the things. We have a ICAW, which is in Institute of in International Chartered Institute of England and Wales. And the various other institutes and HMRC, the government department, their laws. Always we need to be, that's a professional, and the National Crime Agency. That's all we need to be look around. So that's we need to be make sure key principles, objectivity, honesty, openness, and kindness. We need to be, a code of conduct is designed to influence the behavior of employees. It set out the procedures used, a specific ethical situation. Violations of the code maybe leads to sanctions. Okay, sustainability. Accountants have the responsibility to act in the public interest, have a wider social responsibility, not just confined to the office environment. Sustainability means meet the present without compromising the future generation to meet their own needs. Sustainability development, and organization should develop operations to coexist with the society, and this can be achieved by putting the long-term future ahead. And CSR is corporate social responsibility. Sustainability and finance professional, triple bottom line. We always need to be look around the economics, environment, financial, social, and environmental issues. And we always, as editors, we try to promote the sustainability in the companies, and that's, ethically and morally the responsibility of everyone to be work in the best interest of corporate social responsibility and promote, sustainability in our organization. Sustainability means meeting the needs of current generation without compromising the needs of the future generation. So CSR and sustainable responsibility as a professional, creating and promoting ethical culture, champion aims sustainability, quantifying the reputation and ethical risk, taking the social, environmental, and ethical factors, and promoting sustainability practices. Risk is not acting sustainability for organization, increase manufacturing costs for society, fewer products, increase irreversible pollutions. Yes, we need to be make sure to reduce it. Yes, that's the responsibility. Type of operational risk, as editors, we need to identify those risks, and give the views about, and keeping in view of, and because true and fair, and types of the operational risk, internal fraud, external fraud. If we don't have internal control, editors can give the views about these things. And operational risk can be reputational, litigation, process, people, system, legal, all, the physical, social, political, that, external environment can bring the risk as well for various businesses. Continuous professional development. Yes, if you want to be meet the legal requirement, you need to be continuous professional development is very important. Otherwise, we can't sustain in a business for longer. Reporting and audit standard, ethical code, tax and company legislation, criminal laws affecting accountant, and other regulation affecting accounting practices. That's all we need to be. Yes, here is the video about the ethical standard, which is good to watch, please, if you want to. There are scandal which we discussed about Enron and authors, so we can review, prepare rules and principle-based approach, as Aliel mentioned, which is quite useful to use. These examples which I included in, and it's good videos to watch, please, how ethical standard can be promoted and how ACCA promoted. And here is the link, which we can use it for further reading, please. Ethics and ethical standard. Okay, anybody any question, guys? If you have question, those are listening this recording, please drop me email on my email address. I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible, and I hope speak to you all during our next lesson, when will be assignment discussion session. Please make sure you will attend the session if you're listening this recording, and we'll go through next week. Thank you. Bye bye. Thanks for listening and attending. Bye bye.